Howdy gentlemen, Formula Fines here. This video I just wanted to go through real quickly some of my favorite Western series and my favorite Western character, and let's just go right into it. Won't be quick, nothing impressive. First we got Wild Wild West Gokey. Probably one of the few who actually enjoyed and knows about there being a Wild Wild West TV show in the 60s. Back when Robert Conrad did all of his own stunts and then ended up in the hospital a few times as a result. As far as the comic is concerned, the artwork was Al McWilliams, and the stories were, well, alright, well, what the hell. I'm gonna open this up. It's a low grade. Basically, the stories was where, for example, like this one is called The Wild Wild West Outlaw Empire. So basically the entire comic was the story of the Outlaw Empire. It didn't just end on the end of the third page or whatever. So basically when you read a lot of these stories, you get one story, which is actually something that I liked lots in all comic books. Instead of reading 5 different multiple stories. Here we got Western Hero. It says issue number 76, but this was actually the first one. I hate it when they do that stuff. The artwork wasn't anything impressive. In fact, it was pretty awful in my opinion, but the stories were pretty good. You had a mix of stories about Monty Hall, Gabby Hayes, and Hupalong Cassidy, and all that stuff. Honestly, I didn't even know that was in there. Western Gunfighters, 1970. This was Sal Buscema artwork. Moving on. All-Star Western number 64. 1952 is the Trigger Twins. The cover and the artwork was Carmen Infantino. He did artwork for a long time. This one's a bit lower grade, so you will not be seeing the artwork on the inside of this book, unfortunately. It might turn to dust if I open it, but cover's nice. Good colors in that one. All-Star Western 119, starring Madame 44, the Outlaw Queen, the Ghost Town. Yeah. All-Star Western number 1, that's when they redid it in 1970, issue number 1 with Pow Wow Smith. And they went to 15 centers. All-Star Western number 4. I'm not sure why I put this one in here. Presents Outlaw and El Diablo. El Diablo was a weird character. He was Lazarus Lane, who was almost killed by a group of thieves and then somehow struck by lightning, who basically ends up being possessed by a demon. And then this demon will basically possess his body whenever he would fall asleep. So when he falls asleep, his demon would wake him up, take his body, and they go wreak havoc together on God knows what. I don't know where they come up with this stuff, but it actually suited pretty well. Weird Western Tales number 12. This was a high grade one. It's number 12, but it's actually number 1. Another annoying thing. And of course on the cover you've got good old El Diablo, dead, possessed by his demon, wreaking havoc on some Indian. Weird stories. Weird Western. And Weird Western Tales went into Scalp Hunter. And he was Scalp Hunter for he had 20-30 issues, all Scalp Hunter. And basically, he was called Kiwanote, and which means, I think it means he who is less than human or something. And it's basically a story of a guy who's trying to find peace, but both sides hate him and kind of want him dead. So he's constantly on the run. I think I have pretty much every Scalp Hunter issue, and I think I've read them all. They're pretty good. Lone Ranger 1948. I think I showed this in my other video. Big Lone Ranger fan. I like the cover in this one. And I got some more here. Yeah, so these were ones that I bought from my comic shop. You can tell by the little label up at the top. And it was one of the few things that I buy on my comic shop because everything else is pretty much overpriced. And the grading was actually pretty fair for these, because like this is a VG comic, VG 4.0, and it's a pretty clean 4.0. And another one, another VG. Like, I'm gonna open this one up just because, like, if you go on eBay and you look for a 4.0, it's not gonna look anything like this. I mean, this is pretty clean here, and I was really happy when I got these. And that's one of the things, like, after 2021, when comic prices started coming down, like, these didn't drop, like, at all. VG Plus, I'll go through all these. Number 67, it's pretty clean. 68, and what was this one? Yeah, VG 4.0. Yeah, that's pretty clean. That's a nice book. I do like Lone Rangers. Gold Key, the Rifleman. TV show is awful, in my opinion. Comic book was a little bit better. That's all I'm going to say about that. High Grade Rex Allen. I'm not even sure why this is in here, but it's a nice book. I probably should have done a little more practice before this video, but whatever. I don't really want to be too fake. Okay, Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. Basically, if you like stories about wandering around in the snow looking for food and such, then this is the story for you. The stories were very good. Same with the artwork. They tended to split them up into stories, about 3 per book. But I do enjoy them. Another one here. Basically what you see is what you get though with it. You're not going to see him getting hammered in a saloon, playing poker, arguing with the cook that his steak is overcooked. You'll be getting a lot of the similar stories of him with his dog in the Yukon. They're good stories. Now here is someone you'll see in a saloon, and I'd say this is my favorite Western character. Jonah Hex, obviously. He's basically not your Superman style, all good deeds, saving the woman type of character, that's for sure. He's a miserable alcoholic, pretty much, with a wife that's always on the verge of leaving him, which makes him a little bit more relatable than some of the other Western characters from that time, like Rawhide Kid, Kid Cold Outlaw, which is why you don't see any of those books in this pile. I think I just got the top 5 here, and that's where I'm gonna end it. But yeah, I think I got all of them except for maybe 2 or 3 issues, and I do enjoy Jonah Hex quite a bit. I would probably say he's my favorite personally, but that's just me. And that rounds out just the top 5. So anyways, thank you to anyone who managed to watch this entire video, and obviously thanks to anyone who did subscribe, and I will see you guys later, and we'll talk about some other stuff, and I'll be probably a little bit more prepared, but thanks for watching, guys.